Welcome to Dirty Daytini. I'm your host, Christina Kane. This is the unfiltered podcast that takes you through the dirty truth of dating, modern romance, relationships, and most importantly, self-discovery. Remember, love isn't always neat, and sometimes life is on the rocks, but it's sure worth the mess.
Let's just dive right into it. For anyone who is listening, I am happy that you are here. I talk to myself all the time, so it's great to hopefully have people listening to me. I want to start with this episode so you can gain an understanding of who I am and what I'm all about. As much as I am going to be giving you advice, guidance, tips, tricks, and dirty little secrets, I'm also going to be sharing my own personal life and what I've learned throughout my years of experience and the lessons that I have gained. One thing you do not have to worry about on Dirty Daytini is hearing a curated truth. Everything is totally unfiltered here. Fair warning, I am bold, I am outspoken, I am assertive, I am dominant, and I am loud. And maybe even slightly aggressive, but at the end of the day, I'm unapologetically myself. In relationships and love, I like to consider myself a balance of assertive and vulnerable, but the vulnerability, of course, takes time to be revealed. There are layers to this onion. People either can handle me or feel I'm simply just too much. In either way, I am okay with that. Because remember, not everyone is going to love you, and that is okay. Over the years, I've walked and I've crawled through many relationship hurdles. I've had my heart broken. I've broken other people's hearts. I've continued on a path and pattern filled with lies, manipulation, fear, uncertainty, doubt, heartbreaks. But with all that being said, I took away a handful of lessons. I have many stories, and they will certainly be revealed, but to keep things short and sweet for this episode, I've learned. I've learned when to be strong and resilient. I've learned when to let someone go with open arms, because even though I may not be able to see it in the current moment, it is for the best. And as time passed, it was for the best. I've learned when to be vulnerable and open up my soft side, because I believe not everyone should get to see that side of you right off the bat, because there's a lot of cruel people in the world and they'll take advantage of it. But I did struggle with being vulnerable and opening up to men for numerous years for numerous reasons. And yes, I did seek therapy after numerous failed connections and having the realization that I, a matter of fact, was the problem. As much as other people we are dating or in a relationship with can have their faults, which could be causing conflict in your relationship, it is just as important, if not more important, to take a look at yourself, your flaws, your patterns, and your behavior, because your relationships will only be as good as your relationship to yourself. That all being said, I was inspired to start Dirty Daytini because friends and family would come to me for relationship advice, and even strangers I'd meet on a night out seemed to just have this irresistible urge to share their conflicts and concerns within moments of meeting me. And I love it. I love every single part of it. I've given countless people advice over the years, from helping my sister through her breakups to guiding friends through the stages of dating, lies, cheating, and mixed signals. And then it hit me. I am constantly being that person that my friends, family, and clearly strangers can count on. Why not be that person for as many people that I can? I would not consider myself a certified expert, but I do always share unbiased and blunt advice to people who seek it. And while it may not always be what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. And in my life, it's an open book and it's a safe space for others to pour out their hearts and confess their relationship shit shows, because we all have them. So if you're looking for an honest conversation about love, relationships, between the sheets, confidence, and everything in between, you're in the right place. I'm going to dive deep into the beautiful disasters of relationships, explore the complexities, and most importantly, uncover the truths that we often hide from ourselves. And through navigating all of that, I hope to guide you in the right direction to self-love and extreme confidence, because you're an icon at the end of the day, so you need to start acting like it. You know, I feel like being born in a different generation, it would be easier to find a companion and it would be much simpler to find a connection with someone. But we aren't in those times. And so because we aren't in those times, we need to adapt to the times that we are in. Dating has become this puzzle where we're constantly searching for the missing piece while trying to make sense of the ones we've already got. And most of the times, the pieces aren't compatible, and we lose ourselves trying to get a piece to fit that just simply doesn't. And in today's modern, fast-paced, relationship-driven world, dating can be impossible. We've got everything at our fingertips, from instant gratification to endless options. I mean, really anything you want, you can get it in the snap of a fingers. If something's broken, we toss it aside without a second thought. Why fix it? Why take the time, energy, and hard work to fix something? Everyone seeks instant gratification and the quick fix. Something's broke, you know, you can just go buy the new iPhone or swipe right to find a fresh face. But that mentality has also transferred into our dating lives too. And we expect quick connections and immediate sparks, but real, meaningful connections take time, they take effort, persistence, and dedication, communication, and compromise, trust, and overall selfless love. That is something that can't be swiped right on or bought off a shelf. So we need to take it upon ourselves to fix the system, and we can only start to do so by fixing ourselves and what we stand for in this world. So while I'm not Gandhi or Mother Teresa, and I'm not going to be the one to fix the entire universe, I do hope that people can turn to this podcast and seek guidance and feel like they have learned something and walked away with valuable content, because that's all we really can do. All we can all do is try to better ourselves and the individuals we are, and then we'll all just be a better world overall. No topic is off limits here. I'm going to be covering, is it possible to find true love in the digital age, or are we just all simply fucked? Long distance relationships, why most fail and few succeed, and how to make yours succeed. Ghosting, benching, breadcrumbing, the modern lingo that you need to be up to date on, because clearly we're all millennials now and we don't use proper vocabulary. Jealousy and temptations, and dealing with jealousy and resisting your temptations. The impact of past trauma on new relationships, because if you do not heal, you're just going to bring that into your new relationship, and the same issues that came up in your last are going to come up in your new one. Open relationships. Are they viable alternatives or just a recipe for disaster? Dating after a breakup or divorce, dating with children, online dating safely, because it's dangerous out there. We all watch Criminal Minds, Cold Case Files. We're living in a crazy world. And the importance of self-love, self-care, self-worth, and self-discovery, which is most important before everything else. Because you've got to lay down a foundation of self-love, confidence, and independence. Loving yourself is the cornerstone of building healthy relationships. When you love yourself, you learn how to properly love others, and you develop the ability to recognize and accept the genuine love that you truly deserve. So I think before anything else, or anyone else for that matter, you must love yourself first, and even more, be okay with being by yourself. Because if you're not okay with being by yourself, you're going to enter a lot of wrong relationships and have a lot of codependency. Which brings me to my next point. We're going to cover topics such as codependency, those common and oh so tricky relationship problems, and even the complex issues that can crop up when hearts intertwine. I think we've all been there. Because you put your rose-tinted glasses on and you don't always see the things you should be seeing because you're too busy in love land. And discuss all the colorful flags you should be on the lookout for, because if we wanted to go to Six Flags, we would have just bought ourselves a ticket to Six Flags. So think of me as your trusty guide on this journey. I'm your Girl Scout, you are my campers. While I love to talk and share my insights, I'm also here to learn with you along the way. Okay, that's why we are going to be bringing in special guests who will share their expertise and experiences. I'm not going to preach what I do not practice, so that is where I'm going to let the guest come on and share their abundance of knowledge with all of us. They will cover topics that I'm not as diverse and qualified in to speak on. I'm not a fraud. I'll speak on what I know, but the things that I do not know, we're going to have people step in to cover it for us. And together, we'll explore topics that light up our curiosity and uncover wisdom that will empower you to navigate the beautiful mess that is love and relationships. Now, while I am here to be the person that you can count on, I am just like you, and I have my dating disasters. But as painful as those experiences once were, I honestly wouldn't go back, because I wouldn't be who I am today without those experiences. I've had my heart broken so badly, and I've gotten involved with people I should have never been involved with in the first place. I've misled people because I wasn't okay with myself, so I needed validation and anything to make me feel loved. I've learned a lot of things. I took away a lot of lessons from my previous relationship. I've learned that if someone is newly out of a relationship and you start dating them, I don't think you should be dating them. I think that men and women both need time to heal after being in a relationship, to learn, why did the relationship fail? What can I do better? How can I improve myself so I can be better for others? And if you get out of a relationship and don't take that time to reflect and heal, and you just go straight into another relationship, the same issues that occurred in your last relationship are probably most likely going to come up in your next relationship. And then that relationship will probably fail. And you'll be wondering why you just can't stay in a relationship. But it's because you really have to take that time to be on your own and be by yourself. And if you don't take that time, then it's just going to be a reoccurring pattern until you break the pattern. I've learned that communication is probably one of the most, if not the most important thing in a relationship. It's one thing to communicate and have casual conversation, but it takes a different skill set to communicate your feelings effectively. A lot of men and women struggle to communicate their feelings in a beneficial manner because you can't just attack someone and come out saddles blazing. No one wants to have a conversation with anyone like that, and nothing gets achieved when you're having a conversation like that. So I've learned that communication is vital in a relationship, and someone who can openly, honestly, and effectively communicate their feelings and just be totally transparent. Because if you're not communicating your needs, desires, wants in a relationship and you're just brushing them underneath the rug, there's only going to be a matter of time until you explode. Got too tough, right? When the going gets tough, get going. No, that's not what we do here. Or you'll never be in any successful, stable, long-term relationship. I've learned that balance is very important in a relationship. Spend time with your friends. Spend time with your family. The girls go out with the girls. The guys go out with the guys. The girls and the guys come together and do things together. But one-on-one time is where your intimacy and your connection and your love is going to grow. I've learned that if your partner really values his bros, or, the girl really values her girlies, that's great. But if it's you and your partner going somewhere and they're always wanting to bring the girls along or always wanting to bring the guys along, that's not a relationship. I mean, maybe in Utah that's a relationship, but it's not a modern day one-on-one relationship. I've learned that there's many reasons your sex life could die down. You may think, gee, what's wrong with me? I'm the problem. They're always wanting to have sex. I'm not that interested in it. When I do it because I want to make my partner happy, I'm not enjoying it and I just want to get it over as quick as possible. If that's how you're feeling, you may not be the problem. There's so many outside factors that affect your connection and your vulnerability and your openness in the bedroom that I think a lot of people aren't aware of. And there's so many things that tug at our subconscious that can then transcribe over into the bedroom because it is such a vulnerable act. You are exposing yourself to someone mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So if you feel like you're not connecting in the bedroom, it may not be you. Maybe there are things you're going through that you need to heal in order to get back into that place where you feel like it's a safe space. But also, maybe it's your partner is not giving you the time, love, appreciation, dedication that you need in the day-to-day life. So when it then gets to the bedroom, you're just disconnected and shut off. I've learned that whether you expect a breakup to be coming your way or whether you don't expect it to be coming your way, it's going to hurt just the same. I mean, breakups fucking suck. When someone does break up with you, no matter what you do not plead, negotiate, beg, try to reason with this person. A, their mind is already probably really made up because they've been thinking about this longer than you know. Or B, you don't want anyone in your life that doesn't want to be in your life. If someone wants to leave, hold the door open for them on the way out. Sayonara, baby. Enjoy your time without me. Because you should never have to fight to show your worth in someone's life. They should be able to see your worth and see the value that you offer and know that, yes, sometimes a relationship's going to suck and it's going to get tough, but it doesn't matter because they want to continue to do that because it's with you. I've learned that when someone breaks up with you, it doesn't really matter why. At the end of the day, this person has already decided to break up with you. It's already hard enough for them. So they're going to try to make it as easy as possible and just give you the whole it's not you, it's me thing. And while we all know that's bullshit, there's no point in trying to get to the bottom of the real answer. Because even if you do that, it's still probably not going to be the real answer. And regardless of why they're breaking up with you, it's not going to make the breakup or the healing or the recovery, moving on, any easier. It's still going to suck. So personally, I don't think it matters why someone's breaking up with you. If someone's breaking up with you, they're breaking up with you. They could give you a list of reasons or they could give you one reason. But at the end of the day, they don't want you in their life. So kick them to the curb. And that being said, I've learned that they come back. They come back. When you think there may be no hope, that person totally made their mind up, there's no way they're coming back. Knock, knock, knock. Surprise, motherfucker, I'm back. While they do mostly always come back, I'm not saying everyone always returns back into that relationship and asks for a second chance, but a vast majority of people do come back. And I think you may want to leap with excitement at the chance to get back with this person, but I think you need to put the brakes on for a second and really think about, do I want to be with someone that threw the rag in and had to be without me in order to realize that they want me in their life? I know they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, but I also think you should be able to appreciate what you have while you have it. So I'm not going to tell you what to do when someone comes back. That's up to you. But with all that being said, I took him back and I got back into that relationship. And I think I leaped at the opportunity to get back into that relationship because I wasn't healed. It was only like 2 months after being broken up with, and I was in a really rough, rocky space. And when he did come back to get back into a relationship, I leaped at the opportunity. And with that being said, I'm not sure the statistics behind it, but I think it's maybe bound to fail again. Because a lot of people go back into a relationship and pick up where they left off, but after you break up, I don't care if it's a week or a month, and you re-enter that relationship, that's a new relationship. You're starting over from ground zero in a way. And if you just pick up from where you left off, then you're taking all that baggage and trauma and disagreements and miscommunication with you into the next relationship. And then it probably just won't be successful again. I've learned that when someone breaks up with you, you can cry, you can have your girls' nights, you can eat your chocolates, you can do whatever you need to do to grieve that relationship, but you've got to pick yourself up at some point and move on. Do not stay in the trenches. You can stay in the trenches for a little bit, but don't get too comfortable in the trenches. Hold your head high and get up and move forward and go hang out with your friends and go do the things that you love to do and go spend time with your family and go travel and see new places of the world and appreciate that job that you have. Because the longer you stay down, the harder it is to get back up. That being said, I was once that person, and I will never, ever be down that bad over a man. You have value. You have worth. Love yourself. And whoever you're with should appreciate being with you. So I will never let myself get that down bad again. And I know that because I promised myself that. I promised myself the first time after the breakup, I would not lay in bed. I would not drop 15 pounds. I would not get bronchitis. I would not cut my friends and family out of my life. I would not spend hours researching how to get the man back, what to do if you've been broken up, watching all the Matthew Hussey videos, scrolling on TikTok. My whole TikTok algorithm was heartbreak quotes, getting the guy back. I will not do that again. So when someone comes back into your life, there's a chance they may break up with you again. And if they break up with you again for the second time, keep it moving. Maybe cry some tears for a day, but you've already gone through it one time. Now it's the second time they broke up with you. Keep it moving, move forward, hold your head high, go do the things that you love to do and don't even look back. They're not even worth it. They're in your past for a reason. I've learned that you can love someone unconditionally, but that doesn't mean that you should stay in that relationship that is no longer serving you. People can feel, oh, but I love them unconditionally. That's love. You have to love the beautiful, the ugly of this person. And while some of that may be true, if the relationship's not serving you, or it's really toxic, or it's really abusive, or it's really controlling, unconditional love is not staying with that person. You need to get out of a relationship that is no longer serving you. I've learned that you can become jaded after relationships. You give someone your whole heart, your emotions, everything you have in you, while also remaining true to yourself. And it may not work out. There's no guarantee that relationship may succeed. But you do it for the hope. And I think it's really easy to become jaded after entering a relationship and exiting a relationship because it's painful. And that pain can build caution around you and build a wall around your heart because you don't want to do that again. You don't want to get in that place. You don't want to feel that way you once felt. But we only have one life to live, and I think we need to remember, put yourself back out there. Get your heart broken 1,000 times. Because what a beautiful experience it was while you were doing it. And you're going to learn so much along the way. So all that being said, that was just kind of a glimpse into the things that I've learned throughout my years about myself, the relationships I've been in, the relationships I want to be in, and the relationships that I won't tolerate. And chapters pass. People pass. And that is okay. Not everything is meant to be held on to. And with all of that, I'm going to end on the fact that Tyler Perry's Medea has a phenomenal quote that I think everybody needs to read or go watch. It's Let Them Go by Medea. I will put a link to the video on the quote in the description so you can go check it out yourself. I will also put a transcript link in my description. So if you would like to read it, you can go read it. You can read it or you can watch it. Either one. It's up to you, but I'll put the links down below. Now that I've given you a glimpse of my life, my world, and what I'm all about, I can promise you, you're going to want to stick around. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to feel empowered. You're going to build your confidence. You're going to build your self-worth. You're not going to tolerate the bullshit that you once did. And you're going to be iconic, okay? I really am going to try to cover every single possible topic that could cross one's mind. I am always writing down new topic ideas for the podcast, whether it be things that I have questions about, whether it be inspiration I get from people I've dated or gone on a date with, whether it be my friends coming to me for advice. So I jot that one down because if they have a question about it, I'm sure there's 1,000 of other people who have a question about it. Or even sometimes when I'm out and about and I meet a stranger and they're talking about an experience or a circumstance or a conflict in their life or relationships, I write it down. And I'm going to be covering all of it. Disclaimer, if you're hanging out with me, be careful, because you may just become inspiration for my next podcast. With all that being said, remember, we are on this learning journey together, and while I may know quite a bit of things, I still have a lot of learning to do as well. And so we are on this journey together. None of us have it totally figured out. I'll continue to share with you what I learn, and I'm also going to be learning with you along the way. I encourage you to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you can be immediately notified when a new episode is available. Listen to Dirty Daytini while you're in the car. Empower yourself on the way to work. Listen to Dirty Daytini while you're getting ready for that date, so you can go into it knowing what to look for. Thank you for listening to the first episode of Dirty Daytini. I invite you to share your feedback. You can do so by dropping it in the reviews below. If you have any questions or suggestions that you may want covered, I invite you to DM me on Instagram or even email me, which you can find all my information in the description. And just remember, embrace the unfiltered truth about love, life, and everything in between. Because life's a journey. And we're all just looking for the map. Stay with us because there's plenty more to uncork on Dirty Daytini. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Before we get back to reality, if you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, you're iconic. But before we part ways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, don't be shy and leave a review. Thirsty for more? Follow Dirty Daytini on Instagram and TikTok at Dirty Daytini. Oh, and just remember, we're on this journey together. Until next time, stay dirty and stay flirty.